Hey guys, it's Lisa with Wonderland 222. We finally got some books so that we can do a flip through. We know you guys have been asking, so we received a few copies in the mail, 288 page core planners. We don't have the all-in-ones nor the notebooks, but I'll focus on the A5 for the sake of this video. I'll show you a quick B6 unstacked, our new B6 unstacked, and we will save the undated video for later as well. But for now, we will talk about the cover, the kind of outside changes that you guys can see. We are using this year the like the faux leather, the leatherette texture. They're soft, they're flexible. I think you guys will be very happy with the texture of these. The colors, these are the planner colors for this year. The notebook colors have 3 other colors in addition to these. We don't have those to share with you right now, but I do have one of them I can share. But this is the hazelnut color and the Kermode Bear. It's the champagne, soft champagne metallic color. It's really pretty, guys. It's a really soft neutral. And then this is the Deep Pacific Blue, Coastal Pine right here. And of course, our Midnight Sky that we have every year for most books. The other thing that you guys will notice with the design of the cover has changed. So in prior years, we have put the logo down here with a planner and then a notebook. By the way, these are brush marks, guys, if you didn't know. A little behind the scenes. These are, you know, brush marks, but they're also check marks to make the W. So when you're checking off your tasks and to-dos. So design of the cover. So this no longer there. We've opened up the cover. We've put our logo here, a planner, a notebook, and if it's undated, or it'll have the date if it's dated. And then on the back, you will see we have the size, whether it's an A5, a B6, or an A6, and then whether it's a cord, the 288 planner, or an all-in-one, the 576 page planner, a U for unstacked weekends, or an S for stacked weekends. That is the cover changes and the cover colors. And then the other change on the inside, you will notice, these are like textured, like really soft textured pages. So your in sheets up front and your in sheets in back have now, they're a little cream and they're very fine, soft textured paper. So without further ado, let's take a look at our 2025 dated planner. I have some other, I'll have the 2024s ready to show the differences from the prior years. Quick flip through for you all. Oh my gosh, another big thing without launching into like the chronological order of our planner. Before Tomoegawa transferred the rights to their paper, to make their paper over to, or their recipe over to Sanzen, a couple years ago, we bought up as much paper as we could possibly afford. And last year, we went on and used Sanzen with most other people that were, you know, that had to switch over from the Tomoegawa paper. But we saved our paper. And so this year, our 2025 books are using the Tomoegawa 52 GSM Tomoe River Paper. So it's super special for us. I love the paper. And once this paper is gone, it is gone. And we, you know, I'm pretty sure nobody else will be using the Tomoegawa paper. I think they went through their supply last year and the year before, but this is our last year. So moving along to a quick flip through. Our pages are, you know, all of these layouts are on the product pages on our website. You can see them, you can zoom in, etc. We are a hybrid bullet journal system, and we have a key and index in all of our books, and we also have our books page numbered, so you're able to index and find your notes and find your, you know, brainstorming, future planning, anything that it is that you're looking for in your book, between notebook and planner, planner and notebook, and within the self-contained book. This eliminates the need to write all your page numbers down. If you guys are bullet journaling, you know, if you are one that draws out your monthly layouts, you know, you have your monthly and weekly and trackers, and you have your quarterly for future planning, etc. So you don't have to draw out those layouts, but everything else is pretty much light enough. You can make it your own. You can, you know, draw your own layouts. Okay, so moving back to the order of the planner. After the key and index, we do a 4-year overview with mini calendars. You have your past year, your current year, and then the upcoming next 2 years. Then we move into the yearly layout, which you'll have all of the months for 2025, the dates within the months, some notes section, and you know, here you can do your long-term project planning, your, you know, anniversaries, birthdays, vacation time, etc. First big change comes in the way of the quarterly layout. So that is 2025, and prior years have looked like this. So let me put it over here. We removed these shaded dividers, basically removing the days of the week, and we just have it once up here, and then we remove these thick dividers that divide each quarter. So the reason being is, one, it gave more real estate. There's a couple, it gave more real estate to these boxes here, removing this divider. And it also keeps, if you are trying to plan stuff in a 3-month period in the quarter, and you've got something, you know, going on at the end of January and it flows into December, you don't have this break to break it up. You can visually see your project is moving in like this, or your travel dates, or whatever it is that you're tracking. The shading is gone as well on the weekends, you can see. The only shading is the alternating month. Here, with these lines being removed, there is still a subtle line here. Again, it's super subtle, so you can use it as suggested to break up the quarters, or you can just simply ignore it and move like right over it. We also changed the header. Sorry, we changed the header here to be more simplified. Once you get through the quarterlies, we hit the trackers. Not much of a change here. The only change really is right here. We remove these extra tracking checkboxes. So that would be something, if you wanted them or needed them, you could put them back in, but it just opened up more writing space for what you're tracking or for any notes. Another key point throughout the book is that the margins are different. They're very wide here in 2024 and prior years, and we have moved them in here in 2025. After the trackers, so we group the quarterlies together, and then we also group the trackers together at the front of the book. But when we get into the monthly layouts and the weekly layouts, the monthly is followed by their corresponding weeks, so that you have a big picture of the month, and then you are able to take your big picture planning for the month and schedule those things in a more detailed, you know, the weekly view with time slots, etc. So in between each months, we usually have an overview, a review page on the left and an overview page on the right. Since there was no month preceding, this is just a notes page, but here you'll have a 2-page spread in between your monthly, weekly section. The next change, the next big change here that we will notice is the weekends. There is no shading on the weekends. So 2025, 2024. Finally, if you guys are looking for a more continuity and consistent visual representation of your weeks throughout, we removed the shading, but we compromised and kept slightly darker headers on the weekends for those of you that still need a visual cue like myself. But that's pretty much the only change to that month. I lied. We did italicize the dates in the month prior, but that's about it. And the headers. The big visual change pretty much is the shading. So like I said, after you get through the month, you start on your weekly spreads for that month. Now, I am going to show you, this is the unstacked version. And I'll do a quick comparison here to the stacked version of the book. So the column width is the huge difference here, you know. You'll notice there's no shading on the weekend. Again, slightly darker headers here. The margins are all nice and moved in. Another change, which I will come back to the stacked weekend in just a second, but another change would be that these lines are much more subtle than these lines here. So this can be viewed as all open space right here, or you can take and use those subtle lines as the divider. And it's the same with the bottom here. They're really subtle and less dark, I guess you could say, than the main column lines. So it can be viewed as open, or it can be viewed as the column extending down. Now, that compared to 2024's version, let me just try to find a random. You'll see no shading, 2025, 2024. The header, we condensed and made it much more simple here. And yeah, that was it. I mean, we changed the lines again. These are much more subtle up here than they're in this book. And let's just jump back to the stacked 2025 right here and look at an unstacked 2024. So the main difference, the header and the shading, and then of course these lines are significantly lighter up here. Now, that is pretty much the only difference in the stacked and unstacked weekend version, are these column sizes. The column sizes, because the weekend stacked, you know, this one doesn't have a to-do, this one does. People often ask, you know, oh, you know, I'm so accustomed to a to-do. I love the wider columns, but where do I have my running to-do column? I put it down here. You can turn it this way or this way. Now that we've made these lines more subtle, you can use this side. And there's also a lot of suggestions for the review and overview pages where they'll you know, divide this out into 4 or 5 weeks, or however many weeks are in that month, and they put their to-do here. You can also use sticky notes, lots of ways. You can join our Facebook group, and lots of hacks on how people make these books their own. Okay, so let's put the stacked version away because everything else in the book is the same. As you go through the year, you know, and you do the monthlies and the overviews and the weeklies, you get to December and you'll have a final review page, and then you start your undated dailies. Nothing has changed here. They're all the same. And that's it. That is a quick and easy flip through so you guys can see the chronological order of our book. You guys are able to see kind of the construction of the book and how it's going to sound, look, and feel. I will show you quickly the B6. I'm just going to open to the weekly because that's the main difference here. Here is our stacked weekend B6, and here is our new unstacked. So your columns are definitely wider here, and then they're with the to-do column here. You do not have it here. No shading on the weekends, but this is our new book for B6. No, sorry, live. This one is the unstacked version is our new book for the B6 lineup right there. The other thing I wanted to show you guys was, you know, this is the Seattle Roast color. Our notebooks and some undateds will have this color. And this being put, this is a 2024 book. This was a prototype. They were sending us a cover sample, basically. But this is a 576, and this is the 288 core. So you can see the difference in the size. Pretty chunky. This has a page per day plus some, and this has like 9288. I can't remember. Sorry. But that is the quick and easy flip through of the books. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave comment below and or email us at support@wonderland222.com. We are so excited to get our books. I'm literally on pins and needles. We will begin shipping at the end of September, and from our advanced shipment, we will fill as many orders as possible in the order in that they were received. And then once we get through that advanced shipment, we will basically have to wait till we get our main shipment towards the end of October. We truly appreciate your patience. Thank you guys so much, and we are so looking forward to planning with you guys in 2025, and we really hope that you like the changes to the books. Thanks.